the biggest challenge that I face as an individual is learning to decouple from overstimulation, right? That extra dopamine hit
Yes.
of, especially if you're creating lots of content online and you're in that business, right? Like you're posting stuff, you're growing, you're like, oh, look at this, look how cool I am, and like everyone does it. We're all humans. But over time, you learn like things like that matter less. But if I were to leave like one bit of wisdom just from my side, it's that contemplation is the door to freedom. And it's like we need to. You mentioned things about always having new things in your mind. I think equally there needs to be an extraction or a decompression process. And there's been studies done to show that when we don't contemplate, we're less compassionate, we're less empathetic, right? And even if those words don't matter too much to you, if it comes to running a business, you need those two things. In fact, I would say that's probably the number one and two skill, or one skill, empathy, that you need. So for me, like when I'm working, I'm trying to keep my phone away. I'm not trying, I am phone away, and then going for a walk, decompressing what's happened after this. After this, I'll just let go. I won't go on Instagram and scroll. I'll go for a walk and just decompress because the mind needs that. And we've lost so much of that. We're just constantly on the hamster wheel of information. So that'll be my 2 cents, so to speak.
Mate, that's a great practice, and that's worth more than 2 cents. Let me tell you, because I agree with you. Like you're right. Your brain needs time to just wander. To, like you said, to decompress, to make the connections. You've just taken in a lot of information. Like it's got to find those connections into all these pathways and go, oh, hold on, I'm going to connect this idea with that idea, and all of a sudden that's inspiration. You've got a new thought, and if you don't give yourself, if you just aimlessly jump on Insta and start scrolling dopamine, like we have a dopamine stimulation issue in society, like
Oh yeah, big time.
people's dopamine basal, like their base threshold is just fucking up here. And so unless it stays up here, they feel like I'm depressed. No, you idiot. You just fucking overstimulated. Like go on a dopamine detox, right? Like learn what it's like to sit with nothing for 2 weeks. And it is like you're going crazy. But let me tell you, at the end of that, you're going to see a whole different you, right? And that's the thing, man. Yeah. There's a guy, Jamie Wheel, good friend, and Jamie runs a flow genome project over in the US, and it's very much about high performance flow. Jamie, and he has a great idea, this great concept. It's not his, but it's one he definitely promotes and speaks a lot about, which is hedonic calendaring. And it's a practice I've taken on. Let's go. What are your weekly rituals? What are your quarterly rituals? Your yearly rituals? And and this cycle, recognizing that there's like nature, there's cycles. Summer, what you do in summer is different from what you do in winter, different, and part of that is your annual rituals are the big unplugs, the big decompressions, like literally punch out for 2 weeks, no tech, no anything. Like the fasting of technology, and you need that, right? And then you almost need a mini version of that on a quarterly basis, and then on a weekly, but and what are you doing to inspire?
Perspective.
Yeah, and it's really interesting because most people, you just go through the year and days blend into weeks, blend into months, blend into quarters, right? Like, yep, I just finished this quarter or wrapped up the books. Great, you're already on to the next quarter. You haven't decompressed. You haven't taken stock. You're just you're running, right? Running on to the next. And all of a sudden the year's done. Shit, it's Christmas already. Oh, fuck, where'd that go? Yeah, cool, I'm going to run into the new year, and all of a sudden you start it again, right? And if you don't have your rituals, and I think when you look at all the ancient civilizations, they're all steeped in ritualistic practices, right? And there's a reason for that. Like there's, yeah, I honestly believe the religious ritual of fasting is actually, it's there for a reason. It's got nothing to do with the religious connotation. It's about you need to starve your body sometimes to let your cells regenerate to do this shit, and they just into these religious kind of rituals, and yeah, I think definitely, man. Like, it's really good to hear that you do that. I think a lot of people just go into day by day, month by month, and just scroll their way through life, and fucking that's useless.
Thanks for watching this clip of the Getting Mental podcast. If you like this clip, Check out the full episode here or more clips here.